From Faginal Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College in Elmhurst, Illinois, it's time for Blue Jays basketball. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Emmett. Glad you could be with us for today's doubleheader. We had the women's game earlier. The men now will take to the floor to face the Augustana Vikings. Elmhurst, after losing 8 in a row to begin CCIW play, has now won 2 out of their last 3. They stand at 6 up and 17 down overall, 2-10 in conference play. Their last time out, a thrilling 102-100 victory in triple overtime against North Park. Today they take on one of the powers of the CCIW, the Augustana Vikings, who back on January 19th handed Elmhurst their worst defeat of the season, a 41-point loss. Augustana comes in 16 up and 7 down overall. They are just 6-6 though in CCIW play. This is a big game for Augustana. They are fighting for that 4th and final spot in the CCIW conference tournament. They are tied for that 4th spot with Carthage. They own the tiebreaker, but they would like to win that spot outright with a victory today. As you can see in here, the starting lineups being introduced to the crowd here at Faginal Hall by PA announcer Bruce Hill, and we'll take a look at the starting lineups. First for Elmhurst, starting in the backcourt will be senior Deontay Foster, 5'11", out of Muskegon, Michigan. His running mate in the backcourt will be Bryant Ackerman, the 6'2" freshman out of Lagodi, Indiana. And up front, the team's leading scorer, Nick Sanford, at 6 feet 5 inches tall out of Decatur, Illinois. Michael Jerkovich on the other wing, 6 feet 4 inches tall. He's a sophomore. And in the middle, the junior college transfer, Alex Morganoff, 6 feet 9 inches tall. He is a senior out of Sacramento, California. For the Augustana Vikings, Jawan Straughter and Dan Yergudis will be the guards. Ben Ryan and Tavian Johnson will be the forwards. And the center is Brandon Coons. Elmhurst is coached by Mark Scher in his 17th season with a record of 241 and 187. And Augustana is coached by Gray Giovanni, 260 up and 107 down in 14 seasons at the helm of the Augustana Vikings. This is the second of 2 games at Faginal Hall. The women played earlier today with Teth Carrillo's Lady Blue Jays defeating the Vikings by a score of 55-44. Lady Blue Jays improved their record on the season to 11-13. They'll wrap up the season next week on the road against the Wheaton College Thunder. And the Vikings head coach Gray Giovanni already complaining to the officials about how long it's taking the Elmhurst Blue Jays to get to the floor. They're finally out, and we are just about set for basketball on the men's side here at Faginal. Alex Morganoff and Tavian Johnson will jump center, and the opening tap goes to the Vikings. This is Johnson on the right side, guarded by Sanford. This is Coons, the center, and he buries a left wing 10-footer to give the Vikings the opening lead. Coons averages nearly 12 points per contest, leads the team in scoring. Here's Morganoff up top as the Vikings settle in a man-to-man. Ackerman, who hit the 3 to put the game in the first overtime last week at North Park, hands to Sanford, and Elmhurst's leading scorer at 16.4 points per game, slices to the bucket to tie the score at 2. Coons backing in on Morganoff, got him off his feet for an easy lay-in. Fundamental mistake by Morganoff, left his feet on the shot fake. It leads to the easy layup, and a back and forth early minute has the Vikings on top by a bucket. Here's a turnover. Quickly into the front court. This is Yergudis. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul is on Michael Yurkovich. That is his first, the first on either ball club. And Yergudis, who is a good free throw shooter at 81% on the season, at the line to shoot it twice. He averages 10.5 points per game. He's a sophomore out of nearby Darien, Illinois. Had 18 points in Augustana's loss to North Central last week. This is Foster against the token pressure. Foster's been hot of late, raising his scoring average by 1.5 points over the last 2 weeks. And Ackerman, the freshman from Lagodi, Indiana, drains a three. He had a career-high 28 points in the triple overtime victory against North Park last week, led all scorers. Mark Scheer really likes the freshman out of Southern Indiana, sees him as a future regular starter for this ball club, and he has been hot the last 2 weeks. Tie up, whistle, and a jump ball, and the alternating possession will go to Elmhurst. Good job by Jurgovic on the aggressive defensive play for the tie-up. These two teams met back on January 19th, and it was not a pretty trip to the Quad Cities for the Blue Jays. They were blistered 84-41, their worst loss of the season by far, as Foster drains a three. And the normally cold shooting Blue Jays are off to a hot start, 3 for 3 from the field, including 2 of 2 from beyond the three-point arc. And Nick Sanford comes from the free throw line on help defense to sky and swat away the shot by Augustana's Ben Ryan. So after being embarrassed earlier by this Vikings team, the Blue Jays have come to fight today, and a whistle and a foul to stop play. Foul's going to be on Ackerman. That's his first, team's second. Non-shooting foul. Ball goes out of bounds to the Vikings. This is Johnson with it off the lob. Forced it inside to Coons, knocked away by Morganoff. Good recovery, dumped down inside to Ryan. Jurgovic does a good job fighting for the rebound, and he draws the foul. Brandon Coons is called for the foul. That's his first, the first on the Vikings. Nearing 3 minutes into the first half. Elmhurst hot from the field, 3 for 3, including a pair of three-pointers. Stop and go move. Foster can't find room to the baseline. Now got himself trapped on the sideline. Hands off to Ackerman. Now the Blue Jays get some better spacing. Room for Sanford. He swoops in the lane, and he'll be called for a charge. Crowd didn't like it, but looked like a good call. Defender had position. Sanford with the aggressive move in the lane. Picks up his first. That's already the third on the team. Sanford, one of 3 Elmhurst players to score 20 or more points in that win over North Park. Here's Johnson, pull up 15-footer. Pretty shot, but it rimmed right out, and Sanford clears the rebound. Ackerman against Jurgutis out top. And Jurgutis stole it before the ball screen could come, and a nice hustle by Ackerman to get back and knock it away. Really smart play by Ackerman that time. He knew he made a careless pass on that turnover and hustled all the way back to make up for it and knock it out of bounds. And Ackerman now will come out of the game. And Kyle Wiest, freshman from Edinburgh, Indiana, will come on. Here's Jurgutis from a long way out. Shot is long, and he gets his own rebound. Jawan Strotter, who checked in at the timeout, is number 30. He works it around to the sideline. This is Ryan. Looked like that shot was tipped, and Wiest clears the rebound. Sanford with a pull-up jumper. He has 4. That leads the Blue Jays, and they remain perfect from the field at 4 for 4. Whistle inside. That will go against Jurgovic. That's his second. And substitutions coming both ways at the next buzzer. Brandon Coons, team's leading scorer, will go to the line, where he is a respectable 77% shooter. That's his 5th point of the night. That leads all scorers. Elmhurst substitutions, the 2 big men, Jurgovic and Morganoff, will leave. Payonk, the freshman out of Oak Forest, Illinois, will check in, as will Eric Dornfeld, junior out of Geneseo, Illinois. Coons now has 6, a pair of field goals, a pair of free throws. Substitutions for Augustana. Griffin Pills, a freshman out of Libertyville, Illinois, checks in, as does George Dexter, 6'7" senior out of Bettendorf, Iowa. Here's Dornfeld. Right side to Sanford, quick dump down inside. Payonk wasn't ready for it, and Augustana comes the other way with a turnover. Ben Ryan's shot is no good. Foster brings it back the other way. Augustana trying to hold on to that 4th spot in the CCIW and get the final seed in the conference postseason tournament, which starts in 2 weeks. Sanford off a screen from Dornfeld, missed it badly. Loose ball kicked around, knocked out of bounds, and it will belong to the Vikings. CCIW only has a 4-team conference tournament, so they will play semifinals and finals at the site of the number 1 seed, which is Illinois Wesleyan. They have already claimed the regular season championship. They have a 3-game lead with 2 to play. Here's Mark Roth, who checked into the game at the last timeout. His 3-pointer is no good, and Elmhurst has the rebound. Augustana just 2 for 9 from the floor here in the first half. They are a good field goal shooting team at 47% on the year. Elmhurst, of course, has shot poorly all season long, just 41% from the field as a team, but red hot today, 4 for 5 from the field, including a couple of threes. Weiss fadeaway had no chance, and the rebound back to the Vikings. Jurgudis left wide open, and he makes the Blue Jays pay with a 3. His first field goal of the day, he has 5. And the Vikings regain the lead. Payonk inside, good lob pass, and he draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot it twice. Fouls on Ben Ryan, his first, the team's second. And Payonk, who's a 79% foul shooter, will go to the line to shoot it twice. Payonk has his first point of the night. Substitution for Elmhurst. Sanford will take a seat, and Ackerman will check back in. Good tap out by Dornfeld, and Elmhurst with a new possession after the missed free throw. Here's Weiss out top to Ackerman. Weiss again in the corner. Aggressive man-to-man from Augustana. Ackerman off the screen, left it short. And the Vikings try to run. They had their big man Nick Hepfner wide open, and the guard missed him on the run out. Hepfner now gets it on a return to the post. Ackerman down to double. Hepfner in the lane. Strange move in the lane. Looked like he was unsure about which way he wanted to take Dornfeld, but nonetheless, he drew the foul. Oh, now they call the foul down inside. I thought that might be Dornfeld on the shot. Instead, they call it away from the ball on Payonk. That's his first. And Elmhurst already now with 5 team fouls in the first half. This is Hunter Hill who just checked in. Off to Roth. Back up top to Hill. Now they get it down low. That was Hefner, whose jumper was short, and Augustana called for the foul on the rebound. A foul is on Dexter, his first. And the team's third. And Foster had it knocked away, but last touch by Augustana's Hunter Hill. And Elmhurst will inbound with 20 seconds to shoot. 7-minute mark of the first half. Wiest with it off the inbounds. Splits a double team, hands to Payonk, and he drains a 15-footer. Payonk with 3. And the Jays with a 2-point lead. This 3 from Pills, who just checked in, is no good. And Hunter Hill comes away with a rebound. Good ball fake and jump stop by Roth, but he couldn't convert the shot. But Elmhurst can't get the rebound, and Augustana with another possession. Here's Dexter driving to the lane, whistle and a foul. That'll go against the Blue Jays. Kyle Wiest is called for the foul. That's his first and the 6th on the team. So the Vikings more than likely are going to be in the 1-and-1 bonus fairly early on in this half. And Mark Scherer goes back to his bench. He'll bring Sanford and Morganoff back in. They both started. And Taylor Baxter, who's been a starter most of the year, comes in for the first time. Good pass from Coons down low to Ben Ryan. Ryan's first field goal. He averages an 11.5 a game. And we're tied again at 13. Wiest with a 10-foot pull-up jumper. Missed it. And Coons clears the rebound. He'll get it off to Hill, who brings it across the timeline, center circle. Pills. Baseline, pass out top. Ryan's jumper no good, and Ackerman clears the rebound. Ackerman coming off his best game as a Blue Jay. Had a game-high 28 points and hit the jumper that put the game into overtime, a game that would eventually last 3 overtimes before the Blue Jays came away with a 102-100 victory, and a blocking foul called. Elmhurst not alert in transition that time on defense. Ben Ryan came streaking to the basket, and Sanford could not get there in time. He picks up the block. That's his second, 7th on the Blue Jays. This is a shooting foul, but after that, the Vikings are going to be in at minimum the 1-and-1 with over 10 minutes to go in the first half. And when you are playing a team like Augustana, you just cannot afford to give them that many opportunities at the free throw line. And now Mark Scherer is arguing his case with the official about that block call against Sanford. Free throw no good, and again, Augustana taps out an offensive rebound, but they can't do anything with it as they lose the ball out of bounds. That is the 5th offensive rebound of the half for the Vikings. Ackerman with it now out high. Guarded tightly by Straughter. This is Baxter with it. Johnson has him out high. Morganov with it. Dumped down inside. That was to Jurgovich. Ryan was fronting him, got a finger on it, and knocked it out of bounds. It'll stay with Elmhurst with 13 to shoot. And the ball is batted away off the inbounds, another turnover. Here's Ryan, looked like he walked with the ball, no call, and he gets to the rim for an easy lay-in. Ryan has 4, and the Vikings have their biggest lead of the afternoon at 4. Jurgovich thought about a 15-footer, passed it up, gives to Baxter. Lucky he wasn't called for a charge as he crashed into the defender at the baseline, but he found Morganoff across the lane, who buries a 10-footer, Morganoff's first basket. Johnson at the foul line. Down low to Coons, leans in on Morganoff and misses. Gets his own rebound, misses the lay-in, and Morganoff clears it. Baxter misses. Jurgovich clears the rebound, sends it ahead to Strawder. This is Johnson, gets a ball screen from Ryan. Elmhurst does a good job to double it up and stop the dribble. That forces a missed shot, but another offensive rebound for the Vikings. And this one, they convert as Jurgovich buries a 3, his second 3 of the afternoon. The lead is 5, and there is a timeout on the floor. It will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 8:40 to go in the first half. Seesaw affair early on. Augustana, though, now out to a 5-point lead. That's their biggest of the first half. And Elmhurst, after starting a blistering 5 for 5 from the field, has cooled off. They are now just 6 for 12. And free throws will be a factor here in the first half as the Vikings already in the 1-and-1 bonus. And Augustana with 4 fouls yet to give. So despite trailing by 5, momentum and the free throw factor in the Vikings' favor. As we mentioned, this is a big game for Augustana. They are 6-6 in conference play, currently sitting in a 4th-place tie with Carthage. Only 4 teams advance to the conference postseason tournament, and the Vikings doing everything they can to hang on to that 4th spot. After the timeout, Blue Jays will play with Ackerman, Sanford, Jurgovich, Foster, and now Eric Leonard, 6'1" freshman who checked in. And Sanford makes the bucket, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point play. That Vikings foul on Strawder, his first, the team's 4th. Sanford now has 7 points. Just scored 8 the last time these two teams played in Rock Island. So much better start for Sanford against the Vikings today. 5-point lead now down to 2. Johnson tries to shoot through a double team off the screen. And good effort on the boards by Eric Leonard to collect the rebound. Vikings knocked it out of bounds, and Elmhurst will maintain possession. While the Vikings are playing to get into the tournament, Elmhurst is playing for a respectable close to the CCIW season. They come in just 2-10 in conference play and, of course, lost their first 8 to begin the year. Here's a careless play on the wing by Ackerman. Ryan with the steal, and he's fouled on the fast break layup attempt. He'll go to the line to shoot it twice. Dornfeld with a Blue Jay foul. That's his first. And that's the 8th against the team. Ben Ryan, who has 4 points, goes to the line for the first time this afternoon. And you can see there why he is only a 64% foul shooter. Very good offensive player, averages over 11 a game, shoots 53% from the field. but has struggled this year at the line. He now has 5. He had 14 the last time these two teams played. And he will check out of the game for the Vikings. Nick Hefner will be back in for him. Foster with a quick shot. Not sure that was the best shot selection. And the rebound back to Augustana. They'll run, they'll miss. Rebound battle for, and Foster has it. Foster to Ackerman, had it knocked away. He'll get it back. He shoots a quick 3. It's no good. Boy, quick trigger for the Blue Jays last couple times down the floor. And a whistle and a foul against the Vikings. This will be against Hefner. That's his first, and the Vikings' 4th. Ackerman will come to the bench for the Blue Jays, and Wiest will come back on. Roth and Hill are back on now for the Vikings. Dornfeld out top to Wiest. So we said Elmhurst looking for a respectable finish to the end of the CCIW season, and they've been better the last 2 weeks. After losing 8 in a row to start conference play, they have now won 2 out of their last 3. And the loss in that stretch was against North Central out in Naperville in a game in which Elmhurst played very well and were very competitive through the first 35 minutes of the game as the ball's knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Augustana. Blue Jays will finish the season next Wednesday night here at Faginal Hall against the Wheaton Thunder. Off the inbounds. This is Roth. His three-pointer is no good, and Sanford clears the board. Lob from Leonard to Dornfeld. Nice play. That's goaltending, and the basket will count. Dornfeld with his first field goal. And the Blue Jays hanging tough. They've led by as many as 2. They've trailed by as many as 5. And now down just by a point. This is Roth. He snaps it down on the left wing to Dexter, and he is fouled. Mark Scherer didn't like that call. Dornfeld picks up the foul. That's his second, 9th on the team, but a shooting foul. And Dexter will go to the line to shoot a pair. Dexter, who averages 3.4 points per game, has his first. Had 6 on the Vikings' loss last Saturday to North Central. Gets them both. He has 2. And the Viking lead back to 3. It's been a big day for athletics here at Elmhurst College. We began the day with a lunchtime reception with the Blue Jay backers and our volleyball and football teams celebrating their success this past fall. And at halftime of the women's game today, we honored the CCIW and Final Four champion volleyball team, unveiled their conference championship banner and their Final Four banner as Sanford scores his 9th point of the afternoon to lead all scorers. And at halftime of this game, we will honor the football team and unveil their conference championship banner, as well as present the Gallardi Trophy to Scotty Williams, and we'll have live coverage of that halftime ceremony here on BlueJayTV.com. Ross' three-pointer is no good. Foster will run off the rebound, and he's going to be called for a charge. Saw that coming 3 steps away. Crowd didn't like it. Mark Scherer didn't like it. But it looked like the defender had position. Foster ran him over. His first foul and the 10th on the team. Mark Scherer all over the official on the sideline, stalking him down to the baseline. And whether the coach likes it or not, it's a foul against Foster, and the Vikings have the ball. Here's Ryan. Wasn't ready for that pass. If he had been, he would have had an open shot. He draws the double, hands to Kuhn, 16-footer. Rims out. That ball was spinning sideways when he let it go. Had no chance to drop. And Foster clears the rebound. This is Sanford. Off to Leonard. Back up top to Wiest. He was open but didn't pull the trigger. And now a whistle and a timeout. So Mark Scherer wants to talk things over with 4:45 remaining in the first half. And it is a full timeout. We will take it with the team back in a minute. You are watching Elmhurst basketball on BlueJayTV.com. After the timeout, Blue Jays will have the ball, trailing 23-22, 4:45 to go in the first half. This is Foster off the inbounds. Leonard, 15-footer, good. Leonard knocks down the open look for his first basket. And the Blue Jays have regained the lead. So after falling behind by 5 at 20-15, they have regained the lead and lead by a point. This is Jurgutis. Started, has been on the bench for a while. And Strotter's pass is knocked out of bounds as we stepped in the passing lane to knock it out. And boy, Mark Scherer is all over this officiating crew. Did not like the physical play a minute ago without the foul call. They inbounder Jurgutis. He gets a ball screen. Morganoff comes out. Now they switch back. Wild shot as the shot clock expires. Ball batted around, and Morganoff clears the volleyball carom. So the Blue Jays have hung tough here in the first half. They put the Vikings in the 1-1 bonus with 10:56 to go in the first half. Vikings pushed the lead to 5, and it looked like they might have gained control. But Mark Scherer's ball club, playing tough defense, has not only managed to stay in the game, but has regained the lead. Very good crowd on hand today. Great crowd for the women's game. And an equally good crowd here for the men's game. Football team on hand. They're here for the halftime ceremony, which will honor their conference championship. Augustana traveled well today, as they usually do. It was also senior day for the women. Stephanie Mitchell and Kim Swertman were recognized for their 4-year careers in a pregame ceremony. Morganoff, weak fadeaway jumper. It misses, and here come the Vikings. Jurgutis will pull the trigger quickly. And what started out as a hot shooting, crisp offensive half has disintegrated into a quick shooting, helter-skelter half as Ackerman finds room to the basket, draws the foul, and a trip to the line for the bonus free throw. And I don't think there's any doubt we are looking at the future of Elmhurst basketball right here in number 24. Bryant Ackerman, the freshman from Southern Indiana, averaging 9.8 points per game as a part-time starter in his freshman season. As we noted earlier, had a career high and game high 28 points in the triple OT victory against North Park the last time out. 77% free throw shooter, can't convert it here. And the Elmhurst lead is 3 with 2:45 to go in the half. Coons with it on the wing. Will give it to Ryan, and he drains an 18-footer over Morganoff. Ryan with 7. And the Elmhurst lead trimmed to 1. Augustana doubles Leonard off the ball screen. He finds the open man, and he gets the assist as Foster drains his second 3 of the afternoon. He has 6, and Elmhurst with its biggest lead of the afternoon at 4. Ryan goes right by Sanford, and Morganoff did not step out quickly enough to help, and he's called for the reach foul. That is going to send Augustana back to the free throw line for Morganoff. That's his first. And the Vikings already in the double bonus. Ryan's friendly bounce on the free throw gives him 8 points on the night. Freshman forward now has 9. And the Vikings are now 9 of 11 from the free throw line. Those free throws are what are keeping them in the game. They trail by 2 with 2 minutes to go. Elmhurst now, after a couple of impatient shots, getting in a little better rhythm in the half court. This is Dornfeld out top. Ackerman off the screen, got bumped again, no call either time, and he forces his way through the pack of Vikings for the layup. Good effort by Ackerman after some physical defense by the Vikings. Here's Coons. Dornfeld leaning on him. That should have been 3 seconds, no call, and now they call it. Not sure if the officials called it or if the Elmhurst bench called it and brought it to the officials' attention. Nonetheless, they got the call right, and it turns it back to the Blue Jays. Just the 3rd turnover of the afternoon for the Vikings. Elmhurst has turned it over 7 times, but they lead it by 4. As we near the 1-minute mark of the first half, miscommunication that time. Foster wanted Sanford. Sanford didn't see it coming. Here come the Vikings, and a good job by Foster to get back and take the charge. That'll go against Tavian Johnson. That's his first. That's the 7th on the Vikings. Sanford now will take a seat on the bench, and Morganoff will come in. So for the final minute of the half, it'll be Dornfeld, Morganoff, Foster, Ackerman, and Leonard for the Blue Jays. For the Vikings, it'll be Johnson, Coons, Ryan, Strotter, and Jurgutis. This is Jurgutis guarding Foster in the backcourt. Good job to double off the ball screen. Off to Foster, his three-pointer off the side of the backboard, and the Vikings rebound. Vikings now will back it out. This is Strotter. Back out top to a wide open Coons, and he can't make the 17-footer. And this one will send the Blue Jays to the free throw line. Johnson climbed the back. He didn't like the call, but I think it was a good one. That'll be his second. And the Blue Jays, with Bryant Ackerman, will shoot the 1-and-1. Jurgovic is going to come on, and Morganoff will sit. This is just the 5th free throw attempt of the first half for the Blue Jays. Substitution buzzer went off, but the substitution will be for the shooter Ackerman. and he won't come out because he misses the free throw, and play will not stop. Does a good job to hustle and chase down his own miss. And the Blue Jays can hold for the final possession. A second difference between the clocks. Blue Jays should have the lead at halftime. Here's Leonard with it. Drives baseline. He'll circle it back out to Ackerman, down to 15. Ackerman, with his back to the basket, gives it up to Dornfeld. Blue Jays trying to get organized here for the final shot of the half. Dornfeld nearly turned it over, but the ball goes out of bounds and stays with the Blue Jays with 6 on the shot clock and 7 on the game clock. Mark Scheer substituting liberally here in the first half is going to make wholesale changes now as Morganoff and Sanford, along with Wiest, will check in. It's a very, very hot gymnasium. Got very warm during the women's game and is very hot here. Players feeling it a little bit, and Elmhurst cannot convert the inbounds pass. Vikings bring it the other way. That should have been a walking violation. Sanford steals, throws up a 30-footer as time expires, and it is no good. So a very weird sequence in the final 5 seconds. Elmhurst with a chance to have the final shot of the half. They turn it over. Griffin Pills trying to fast break the other way, tripped and fell. Sanford with a shot at the buzzer, no good. Nonetheless, after all that, a very good half of play for the Blue Jays. At the break, they lead a team that blew them out by 43 the last time by 4. Coming up, live coverage of the halftime ceremony to honor the 2012 CCIW football champions. The Elmhurst Blue Jays will take a break. Be back with the halftime ceremonies in a moment on BlueJayTV.com.
Recognize the outstanding accomplishments of the 2012 Elmhurst College football team. The Blue Jays turned in their best season of football in Elmhurst College history. Squad won a share of its first CCIW championship since the 1980 season and became the first team in school history to qualify for the NCAA postseason tournament. The team defeated Coe College in the opening round of the tournament to advance to the Sweet 16 before dropping a close contest to eventual national runner-up St. Thomas. The team set a school record for wins in a season by finishing the year with a 10-2 overall record. There was no shortage of postseason honors for the team as the Blue Jays earned a pair of top 10 national rankings at the end of the season. 9 Blue Jays picked up all conference honors and 7 Blue Jays earned all region accolades. First team all conference honorees included Scotty Williams, Peter Stamos, Charlie Hamoki, Chris Kirkpatrick, Vince Gabries, Jamal Lane, and Wayne Tuckson. Ryan McGuire and Dan Vaccari were both named to the all-conference second team. First team all-region honorees included Williams, Hamoki, and second team all-region selections were Stamos, Kirkpatrick, Lane, Tuckson, and Gabries was a third team all-region selection for the Blue Jays. 3 Blue Jays went on to earn All-America honors. Stamos and Hamoki both earned second-team All-America accolades as offensive linemen, while Scotty Williams earned first-team All-America honors at running back. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Jays will unveil the CCIW Championship banner. Let's have one more big round of applause for the accomplishments of the 2012 Elmhurst football team. Before the Blue Jays clear the court, we'd like to take a moment to individually recognize Scotty Williams, who became the first ever Elmhurst player to win the Gagliardi Trophy. This award is presented to the most outstanding football player in Division III. He was on hand to collect the trophy in Salem, Virginia in December. Named for legendary St. John's coach John Gagliardi, the trophy is presented annually for excellence in football, academic, and community service. Williams rewrote the school's record book, setting Elmhurst single-season records in rushing yardage at 2,046 yards and rushing touchdowns with 22, while shattering the college's career records in rushing yardage, 5,203, rushing touchdowns, 50, points scored, 332. He broke the former career rushing record by more than 1,600 yards. A Capital One Academic All-American in 2011, Williams was also very active in the college's Habitat for Humanity group. Thanks to the generosity of Ron and Julianne Vincent, the college will have a replica Gagliardi trophy on display in its trophy case later this year. One more time, a round of applause. Congratulations, Scotty Williams.
Joe Emick back with you at Fagenal Hall, where the Elmhurst Blue Jays lead the Augustana Vikings 31-27 at halftime. Good half of basketball for the Blue Jays, who were blown out by 43 points back on January 19th when these two teams played in Rock Island. And the story of the night are two teams going in opposite directions with their shooting. As you know, Elmhurst has struggled from the floor throughout the year, came in shooting just 41% from the field as a team. They shot a blistering 54% on 13 of 24 from the field, including 3 of 6 from three-point range. Conversely, Augustana came in a very good shooting team, 47% from the floor as a team, just 25% in this first half on 8 of 32 shooting. They did make 2 three-point field goals in those 8 makes. But that is the real difference in the first half, is the field goal shooting. Individual scoring for the Blue Jays, Nick Sanford led the way with 9 points. Brian Ackerman had 7, Deontay Foster had 6. Kenny Payonk had 3 off the bench, Eric Leonard had 2 off the bench, and Alex Morganoff started and scored twice. For the Vikings, they were led in scoring by Ben Ryan, the freshman, who had 11 to lead all scorers in the first half. Dan Yergudis had 8, Brandon Coons had 6, and George Dexter had a pair to round out the Vikings scoring. Rebounds are even at 19 apiece. Elmhurst had the advantage on the defensive boards, out-rebounding the Vikings 16-11. Conversely, the Vikings out-rebounded Elmhurst by 5 on the offensive glass. That's a quick look at the stats, and we're ready to go here in the second half of action. The Vikings will have the ball to begin the final 20 minutes of play. This is the 128th meeting all-time between the Vikings and the Blue Jays. Vikings lead the series 84-43, and they have dominated of late, winning 6 out of the last 7, though Elmhurst did win last year back on January 12th, a 56-55 game in which Zach Boyd hit a jumper at the end to win it. And the Vikings get things started quickly with a Ben Ryan field goal off the right wing, and they quickly cut their halftime deficit in half. Ryan now with 13 on the game. Morganoff with a strong move to the baseline, and a good sign for the big man. The knock on him all year is he has not been as aggressive as the coaches would like for a post player. Aggressive that time on a good strong move to the basket. He has 4, and the lead is back to 4. Johnson right to the baseline for a slam dunk. Beat his man, help did not arrive in time, and he rams it home. His first basket of the afternoon. Averages 6 points per game, whistling a foul. And this will go against the Blue Jays. Morganoff is called for a moving screen. That's his second, first on the Blue Jays in the second half. They were in foul trouble early. They put the Vikings in the 1-1 bonus with 10:56 to play in the first half. And at the time, we thought that would come back to haunt the Blue Jays, but it didn't. The Vikings never really took advantage of it. Strotter's 17-footer is no good, and Sanford outduels Johnson for the rebound. Here's Ackerman, and he draws a block. And Gray Giovanni, the Vikings coach, wanted a foul on Ackerman, arguing that he threw an elbow to knock down the defender. Referee's not buying it. And Johnson now has his 3rd foul, the first on the Vikings in the half. Gray Giovanni, a terrific career, 14 seasons in Rock Island, 261 wins against 107 losses. He's been a Division I coach, was the head coach at Lamar for a while before coming to Augustana. Vikings, of course, with a terrific basketball tradition. Coming into this season, they ranked 10th all-time in victories among Division III basketball programs. They were in the top 25 for a good bit of the season. Then they ran into the Illinois Wesleyan North Central Wheaton buzzsaw in conference play, and that knocked them out of the top 25. In fact, they are just 6-6 in league play today. Morganoff clears the rebound, hands to Sanford. His jumper no good. Tie up, and this is going to be a foul against Elmhurst. Morganoff didn't block out, took out his frustration trying to wrap up on the rebound, and he's called for the foul. And that's Morganoff's 3rd, so the Blue Jays big man in foul trouble early in the second half. This is Yergudis, who had a quiet first half. Careless pass stolen by Foster, who jumped the passing lane. Ackerman got fouled, no call, missed the rebound. Sanford's tip, no, and it stays with the Blue Jays. Wiest will check in. And Morganoff. Will Morganoff come on? Who's going to come off? Now Morganoff will finally come off. Don't think Morganoff realized he had 3 fouls. Did not think the substitution was for him. He makes his way to the bench now, and we resume play. This is Wiest with it. Off to Foster. He had a pair of threes in the first half. Skip pass. Ackerman catches, shoots, left it short. Here's Strotter. He'll take it and lay it off to Jurgudis, who lays it in. Jurgudis in double figures with 10. Just about at his season average of 10.6 per game. Sophomore out of nearby Darien, and now a whistle and a timeout. Mark Scherer wants to make a couple of adjustments. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here as the Vikings have erased their 4-point halftime deficit, and we're tied at 33, barely 3 minutes into the first half. We are back after the timeout. 17:07 to go in the ball game. Tied at 33. Elmhurst led 31-27 at the break. After the timeout, the Blue Jays will play with Ackerman, Foster, Sanford, Wiest, and Jurgovic. Vikings will play with Jurgudis, Strotter, Coons, Johnson, and Ryan. This is Wiest out top. Up top to Sanford. Guarded closely by Ryan. This is Jurgovic. Snap it down low to Sanford. He draws a double team, bangs his way to the goal. Shot no good, and Jurgudis has the rebound. He will run. He'll pull up, dump down inside to Ryan, draws a quadruple team, somehow splits it and lays it in. How about that? He had 4 defenders surrounding him underneath the basket. He managed to find some daylight and lays it in with a reverse layup. Ryan now with a game-high 15. 6-point run now for Augustana, and Wiest breaks that with a fadeaway jumper, his first bucket of the afternoon. Johnson draws a foul from Ackerman. That's his second, and Johnson will go to the line to shoot it twice. Focused on basketball here this afternoon, but a lot of other good things happening in Elmhurst athletics. This week, Lauren Williams named the CCIW's Indoor Track Athlete of the Week in women's track. She finished second in the mile at North Central last week. Broke her own school record by 8 full seconds. That is the second fastest time in the CCIW and the 17th fastest in the country this year. So congratulations to Lauren. And Steve Marianetti's wrestling team continues its strong run. They are all the way up to number 2 in the national rankings. They blasted Loris 43-9 last weekend in their final dual meet of the year. They will begin the conference tournament at Wheaton next Thursday, and then they will host the NCAA Midwest Regional here on March 2nd. So the Blue Jay wrestlers with a legitimate shot to win a national championship. Johnson's 2 free throws now give the Vikings a 2-point lead. Those were Johnson's 3rd and 4th points of the game. This is Foster on the wing. 5 to shoot. Thought about a pull-up, hands it to Ackerman, who sliced in the lane, and he is fouled from behind. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Brandon Coons charged with a foul. That is his second, and the second on the Vikings. Thought Ackerman was the player fouled and going to the line. Instead, it is Kyle Wiest. His first trip to the free throw line. And the freshman has his third point of the afternoon, all of them coming here after halftime. Weiss now with 4. Blue Jays are 4 for 7 from the free throw line here in the game. Substitutions for the Blue Jays. Dornfeld and Payonk checked in at that break. They'll join Sanford, Wiest, and Foster in the Blue Jay lineup. Good hands by Foster to knock the ball away. Ryan fell asleep, didn't see the double coming, and the Blue Jays forced the turnover. Payonk with it, back out top to Foster. They'll reorganize the offensive set. This is Wiest, guarded by his opposite number. Dornfeld backs it down on the post. Fadeaway jumper on Coons is good. Good back down and turnaround jumper by Dornfeld. His 4th point, a field goal in each half. And the Jays are led by 4 at the break, back on top by 2. CCIW postseason tournament gets started in about 10 days at Illinois Wesleyan. They have already sewn up the number 1 seed. They have a 3-game lead in the league with 2 games left to play. So the regular season not quite as competitive for that top spot as everyone thought it might be after the Ryan miss, a tie up underneath. Coons and Wiest battling for it, and the alternating possession will give it back to the Blue Jays. So the conference season began with Wheaton, Illinois Wesleyan, North Central, and Augustana all ranked in the top 25. North Central spent a few weeks at number 1. And as the season has played out, the Titans of Illinois Wesleyan have proven to be the dominant team. They sit atop the league with a perfect 12-0 mark. North Central at 9-3, Wheaton at 8-4, and Augustana at 6-6. Carthage also at 6-6, but Augustana swept the season series against the Redmen. So if those 2 teams finish tied for 4th, the Vikings would get the 4th slot in the conference tournament. As things stand now, Illinois Wesleyan would play Augustana. North Central would get Wheaton in the league semifinals. That last foul was called against Augustana's Hunter Hill. That is his 1st and the 3rd on the team. Non-shooting foul. And Augustana will give it back to Elmhurst. 10 to shoot. Ball screen for Wiest. Takes it down the left side of the lane. Forced a shot there. Dornfeld with a rebound. And he walked with a basketball. Tenth turnover of the afternoon for an Elmhurst team that turns it over nearly 16 times on average per contest. Vikings now working it around the outside, showing some patience. Shot clock down to 15. They force it into Coons. He bumps his way down inside against Dornfeld. Physical play. Officials let him go. Loose ball comes to Wiest. He takes a wild shot, ill-advised shot that time, very impatient. And on the run out, the Vikings convert on an easy layup by Griffin Pills. Freshman out of Libertyville with his first bucket of the afternoon. And we're tied again at 39. Bad sequence that time for Elmhurst. Impatient shot by Wiest, and it leads to the run out. They don't get back, and the Vikings convert the layup to tie the game. Wiest with a ball screen. Good step out by Pills, and they'll hand it up top to Dornfeld. Sanford had 9 points to lead the Blue Jays in the first half. He has not scored here in the second. Payonk down to Foster. He'll shoot a 3 over Udis, and he nails it. Foster with 9 points on 3 3-point baskets. And the Blue Jays will take a 30-second timeout. We'll keep things right here as Foster's basket extends the Jays' lead to 3. They've led by as many as 4. That was their halftime lead. And Deontay Foster has really rebounded well. He had a very tough start to this CCIW season. Had a stretch where he was just 1 for 14 from the field over 2 games. And since then, he has increased his scoring average by nearly 1.5 points. and today has 9 points on 3 3-point field goals. And he was terrific in that triple overtime victory over North Park last weekend. Had 23 points, one of 3 players along with Brian Ackerman and Nick Sanford to score 20 or more points in that game. And that was an important game for the Blue Jays, one that really probably kept this from feeling like a total disaster of a CCIW season, picking up their second conference win against a team they probably should beat year in and year out. After the timeout, it'll be Leonard, Morganoff, Dornfeld, Sanford, and Ackerman for the Blue Jays. Here now is Strotter. He leaves it off down inside for Hefner. And loose ball knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Elmhurst. We mentioned that only 4 teams make the postseason tournament in the CCIW. In Division III basketball, every conference does it a little bit differently. Some leagues let everybody in, as the Division I schools do. Other leagues, like the North Central or the North Coast Athletic Conference, where I've done most of my broadcasting work, take 6 of their 8 teams. And here in the CCIW, they only take 4. And of course, that is to guard against a team, frankly, like Elmhurst, 2-10 in the regular year, from popping up and surprising everybody by winning the league tournament and claiming the automatic bid. Because the bids don't work quite like they do in Division I. You rarely have a conference that will get more than 2 or 3 bids. Here's Dornfeld. As the shot clock expires, his miss reset the shot clock. Nobody blocked him out, and he taps in his own miss. Dornfeld now with 6-4 in the half, and the Blue Jays have their biggest lead at 5. So the CCIW limiting it to 4 teams to ensure that one of their top teams gets the automatic bid. And it also helps cut down on scheduling, logistics, and travel costs as well. And this shot well off the mark. And Hefner collects Strotter's miss and puts it back in. That's Hefner's first basket of the afternoon. He had 10 points when these 2 teams played back in mid-January. Nearing the midpoint of the second half, Blue Jays have led by as many as 5, and a whistle and a holding foul off the ball. This is against the Vikings' Hefner. That's his second. 4th on the team. Dornfeld now will sit. Morganoff with 3 fouls will check in. Sanford will also sit. And Jurgovich will check in. Ackerman trying to trigger it in and does in the corner to Leonard. He turned his back on the defender Johnson, who swatted it away, and Hefner picks up the loose ball. Jurgovich weaves his way to the foul line, can't convert a 16-footer, and Foster will run 3-on-3. Good bounce pass on the break to Leonard. He got tentative as he saw the defender coming across the lane to help, left the shot short, missed it, and a jump ball off the rebound called, and it'll go to the Vikings. Had Leonard just stayed aggressive and taken that right to the glass, he would have at minimum drawn a foul and likely have made the bucket. Instead, he heard footsteps, alligator armed it, left it short, and it goes back to the Vikings. This is Pills. Gets a step on Foster, snaps it back out high. This is Jurgovich. His 3 is no good. And Hefner with a rebound. Blue Jays double off the ball screen. They swing it around now to Johnson, and he drains the 18-footer from the left wing. Johnson scoreless in the first half, now has 6 after the intermission, and we're tied again. Each team is led by as many as 5. And Ackerman drains the 3, his first basket of the second half. He's in double figures with 10, and the lead is back to 4. And Hefner takes advantage of Morganoff's 3 fouls and drives easily to the basket for the layup. Hefner now with 4. Blue Jays trying to play spoiler as Augustana tries to hang on to that final spot in the conference tournament. Ryan off the turnover to Pills, who missed an easy layup, but Johnson is there to tap it in. Nobody boxed him out. He now has 8, all of them here in the second half. We're tied again at 47. It's been a close, if not well-played game. Morganoff, fearless with the 3 fouls. A rare, aggressive move for him in the post, and he lays it in against Hefner. Morganoff now with 6. This is Ryan. Ryan has 15 to lead everybody. Now Hefner goes right by Morganoff. Took a step right around him and laid it in. Hefner with 3 quick baskets now has 6. And we're tied again. Well, however this game turns out for Elmhurst, give them credit. After being absolutely embarrassed at Rock Island, they have really come to play today and are staying right with Augustana, and they turn it over. Foster thought Morganoff was going to the post. Morganoff didn't think so. And Foster turned it over, but back the other way. Augustana called for a foul, and now Gray Giovanni really upset on the sideline. He has not been happy with the officiating at all this afternoon. And now hockey line changes going both ways. And Giovanni very close to a technical foul. He's putting on a show on the far sideline there. Not getting any attention from the officiating crew. And he'll settle down on the bench. So after the changes, Elmhurst will go with Foster, who just dribbled it off his foot out of bounds for a turnover. Sanford, Ackerman, Wiest, and Dornfeld. For the Vikings, it will be Coons, Johnson, Ryan, Hill, and Strotter. This is Johnson with it out high. 7.5 to go in the game. We are tied at 49. It's been a back-and-forth contest. Strotter gives it to Ryan. Bodies flying everywhere, and the loose ball is collected by Coons. He'll get it out high. This is Hill. Now to Strotter. Faked left, went back right, draws a double out high. That leaves a man open. Ryan at the free throw line. Step back, got it. Good job by the Vikings to find the open man off the double, and Ryan, a very talented freshman, has his 17th point of the afternoon. Vikings on top again. Wiest will back it out onto the Blue Jay logo. Gets a ball screen from Dornfeld, flares it to the left wing. Dornfeld up top, not a threat to shoot. Hands it off to Ackerman. Hill is guarding him tightly. 8 to shoot. Wiest, bumped by Ryan. That's Ryan's second, 6th on the team. Ball will be out of bounds. And the shot clock resets to 35. Lob pass to Sanford. Couldn't convert it. Vikings run the other way. Elmhurst doesn't get back. And Johnson will earn a trip to the free throw line. That is Ackerman's 3rd foul. So he and Morganoff in foul trouble for the Blue Jays. As Johnson, who averages 6 points a game, goes to the free throw line, looking for his 9th and 10th points of the afternoon. And the free throw is good. That's 9 for Johnson. We've talked about Elmhurst's strong freshman class led by Wiest and Ackerman. Vikings have an equally good group of freshmen. Johnson, one of them, and Ben Ryan, who's been the best player on the floor today for either ball club, is also a freshman. Johnson now in double digits, and the lead is 4. So after trailing by 4, the Vikings now lead by 4. They'll show some full court press here, as Hill will pick up the basketball in backcourt against Foster. Ackerman splits a double team, dumps it off to Sanford, and he'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Good job that time by Ackerman to recognize the double team and find Sanford on the baseline. Sanford now in double digits with 11 and a chance for the 3-point play. Elmhurst has cooled off a bit from the floor here in the second half. They shot 54% in the first 20 minutes. And Sanford cannot connect the free throw. Blue Jays now just 50% from the line at 4 of 8. Still shooting well from the field, though, 21 of 42. Again, the Vikings with an easy layup attempt, but they can't convert it. Blue Jays sloppy with a rebound, but Foster hustles to save the turnover. And Wiest cannot convert the open three. Johnson off the break. Maybe a quick shot. It's short, but the Blue Jays don't block out. Coons rebounds, and they'll reorganize up top. Straughter with it. Off to Ryan. Fake, drive, shot, foul. No good, but he'll go to the line. That's Sanford's foul, his third. So now 3 Elmhurst starters with 3 fouls each: Morganoff, Sanford, and Ackerman. And Ryan will go to the free throw line. He now has 18 on the night. Substitutions: Morganoff with 3 fouls checks in. Dornfeld thought the substitution was for him, but instead it's for Ackerman. So the Jays will play with Morganoff, Dornfeld, Sanford, Wiest, and Foster. Jurgutis checked in at that last dead ball for the Vikings. He'll join Strouder, Ryan, Coons, and Johnson in the Viking lineup. Lead back to 4 for the Vikings. 5.5 to go. Blue Jays looking for their 3rd win in 5 games. Vikings looking to snap a 2-game losing streak and go back above 500 in the league. Sanford off the catch, drive, floater, no. Rebound battle for Vikings have it. Jurgutis to Johnson. Draws the foul on the baseline. That's Sanford's 4th. So Mark Shearer leaving Sanford in the game with 3 fouls. And that backfires as he now picks up his 4th. And Johnson will go back to the line. This is a critical time in the game for the Blue Jays. They trail by 4. They are in deep foul trouble. And Johnson misses the free throw. So Sanford now will sit with 4 fouls. Ackerman will come on to replace him. Ackerman playing with 3. So Johnson cannot take advantage of the free throw attempts, and the lead stays at 4 with 5 minutes to play. Wiest trying to get aggressive, had the ball knocked away by Johnson. No backcourt violation as the Vikings touched it, and Wiest will bring it into the half-court right side. Here's Foster now. He's going to try to take the big man, Ryan. Can't do it. A little handoff to Ackerman. He'll hand it out top to Wiest. He's bumped, but still manages to knock down the 8-footer. Wiest with 6. 2-point deficit. Elmhurst now will press. This is Jurgutis. 8 points in the first half, 10 points on the game. Double teamed on the sideline, gets it free. Johnson with it, wants a screen, doesn't get it. Instead gives to Ryan on the slip, and he lays it in. Nice half-court action there. Ryan went to set the ball screen, and instead slipped it, went to the basket untouched. And he has his 20th point. 9 of those coming here in the second half, and the lead is back to 4 for Augustana. 4 minutes to go. This is Dornfeld, top of the lane. Down low to Morganoff, posting aggressively, and he draws the foul. Coons bumped him from behind. It'll be Coons' 3rd, and that will send Morganoff to the free throw line. Jays shooting an impressive 49% from the field, but only 45% from the free throw line. They've also turned it over 15 times. The Vikings have just turned it back 8 times. As Morganoff, who is only a 61% free throw shooter, knocks down his 5th point of the half, his 7th of the game. Nick Sanford at the scorer's table. He'll check in at the next dead ball. And Morganoff matches his season average with his 8th point. That allows Sanford to check in. And Morganoff will go to the bench. So Sanford on the floor with 4 fouls. 11 points, but just 2 of them here in the second half. Eric Leonard also in at the last dead ball, so it'll be Ackerman, Leonard, Jurgovic, Sanford, and Foster for the Blue Jays. This is Coons down low. Back out to Jurgutis. 3.5 to go. Jays trail by a pair. Each team has had a lead of 5 in this game. Jays led it by 4 at the half. Jurgutis, shot clock down to 10, draws a foul. Boy, that is a tough foul to take. That shot missed, but it will send Jurgutis to the line to shoot it twice, and more importantly, that's now the 4th on Ackerman. So 2 of the Blue Jays' best scorers in deep foul trouble. Ackerman and Sanford both on the floor with 4 fouls as Jurgutis misses the free throw. Morganoff will check back in, and Jurgovic will sit. Jurgutis knocks down his 3rd point of the half, his 11th of the game. Vikings want a timeout. We'll take it with them. Jays trail by 3. We'll be back in a minute. .320 to go in the game. The Blue Jays trail by 3, 58-55. It's been a back and forth game. Each team has led by as many as 5. The Jays led by 4 at the half. Sloppy stretch at about the 7-minute mark. And the Blue Jays coughed up the lead. But still in this one against a team that blew them out by 45 points just about a month ago. Jays started out 0-8 in conference play, 2-2 since then, and they've won 2 out of their last 3. Augustana, with an up-and-down conference season, they started out 3-0 in conference play and then lost 3 in a row when they hit the Wesleyan North Central Wheaton stretch, and they play today at 6-6 in league play. After the timeout, a foul-plagued Blue Jays team has the ball. Sanford on the floor with 4, Ackerman on the floor with 4, and Morganoff on the floor with 3. Morganoff flashes to the post. Foster can't get it. He better watch a 5-second closely guarded count. And before he can get rid of the ball, he turns it over. Ackerman came over to try to help. That fouled up the spacing, brought a double team, and Augustana was able to touch it and knock it off Foster's leg. Big turnover there. Elmhurst really needed a bucket. They trail by 3 with 2:55 to go in the game. Morganoff now will check out, and Jurgovic will come back in. $18 turnovers on the night for the Blue Jays. That's 3 turnovers above what is already a high 15 turnover per game average. Jurgutis left it short. Big miss for the Vikings, and the Jays come the other way. Foster on the break, room to the baseline, dumps it off inside to Sanford, may have overpassed, and the ball goes out of bounds. Looked like Foster tried to adjust in midair to avoid a charge, dumped it off to Sanford, who could not convert. And it goes back to the Vikings with a 3-point advantage. Johnson with it, wants a ball screen, works the other way. Jurgutis goes right to the baseline. There was no help. When it did come, it was late, and Sanford's just fouled out of the game. And it looks like he is hurt. holding the back of his head. He may have hit his head as he hit the floor on that play. And now a timeout. They've not yet called for the trainer, and Sanford cannot get up under his own power. He was on his back and is now rolled up into a sitting position, and the Elmhurst training staff will go out to the floor to tend to him. So a tough sequence for the Blue Jays. They miss a layup at their end, allow a free drive to the baseline. The help from Sanford was late. When he got there, he was called for the blocking foul. It's his 5th, and he's shaken up on the play. Sanford terrific in the first half, had 9 points. Very quiet here in the second, just 2 points. And, of course, minutes limited late in the half due to that foul trouble. He finally gets up under his own power, but he looks like he's shaken up a bit. And he'll get a rest on the bench as he's disqualified with his 5th foul. First player on either side to foul out. That's the 8th team foul against the Blue Jays. So after the timeout, it'll be Morganoff, Jurgovich, Leonard, Foster, and Ackerman for the Blue Jays. Augustana will play with Jurgudis, who's at the line. Strotter, Johnson, Ryan, and Coons. 12th and 13 points of the night for Jurgudis, and the lead is back to 5 with 2:05 to play. So the Jays have to dig out of their biggest deficit of the afternoon with their leading scorer fouled out of the ball game and on the bench. Morganoff, turnaround jumper, no good, and the rebound to Johnson. Strotter, as the Vikings now will work some time. They're going to work time and force Elmhurst to chase and perhaps foul. And if this one goes against the Jays, as Jurgudis was wide open, but had the ball knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with the Vikings with 16 to shoot, 93 seconds to go in the game. I was about to say, if this one goes against the Blue Jays, give them credit for battling well against a team that blew them out. But boy, this is going to be a tough loss to take. The Blue Jays can't come back. They played toe-to-toe with the Vikings, had a 4-point halftime lead, stayed right with them, but foul trouble and poor shooting down the stretch have been the difference. Off the inbound, Strotter, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that foul was against Ackerman. That is his 5th. He becomes the second Blue Jay and the second Blue Jay starter to foul out of the game. So now the task becomes even more difficult for the Blue Jays. 92 seconds to go. The lead, or the deficit I should say, for them is 5. It could grow to as many as 7 with the Vikings shooting free throws, and the Blue Jays will have to overcome it with their top 2 offensive weapons on the bench. So after the timeout, it'll be Wiest, Morganoff, Jurgovich, Leonard, and Foster for the Blue Jays. No changes for the Vikings as Jurgudis, Johnson, Strotter, Coons, and Ryan take to the floor. Free throw short, and Elmhurst with an important rebound. So still a chance, trailing by 5 with 1:30 to go. Here's Foster. Wiest. Turnaround 3, got it. And Mark Scherer takes a timeout. A huge bucket for the Blue Jays with their 2 leading scorers on the bench with 5 fouls each. The freshman Wiest comes up with a big 3 to slice the deficit to 2 with 1:20 to go in the ball game. We'll keep it here as Mark Scherer draws up what he wants from this Blue Jay team. So they have stayed right in it. A freshman Ackerman last week was the hero with a big 3 to send the game into overtime. And here, Wiest with a big 3 to slice a 5-point deficit down to 2. So now the Blue Jays can play defense before they have to chase and foul with it down to a 1-possession game. Been a fun day of athletics here at Elmhurst College. Tefney Carrillo's women with a victory over the Augustana Lady Vikings, 55-44. Women's team now 11-13 on the year. One game remaining for the men after this one. They will finish things up on senior night next Wednesday night against the Wheaton College Thunder. Augustana will finish its regular season, on that same night at home against Milliken. And of course, Augustana hoping their season continues in the postseason tournament. Augustana, the only team in the CCIW to play in all 7 postseason conference tournaments. Elmhurst will press after the timeout. Augustana gets it in. This is Ryan, who will handle it in backcourt. He has a game-high 20. Elmhurst playing the passing lanes, doubles. Augustana working clock. We're down to a minute to play in a 2-point ball game. Yurgudis wants a ball screen. Now they dump it down off the slip to Coons, who set the screen, gets by Foster. Foster knocks it away, but Coons lays it in. Nice play again off that ball screen. They set it out high, and then Coons, the screener, slipped to the basket unnoticed. And he gets loose for the layup, and Augustana will stop the clock to set up their defense with 51.9 seconds to play in the game. So a big basket for the Vikings. Coons with 8, his first tally of the second half. If you're just joining us, it has been a back-and-forth game throughout. Each team has led by as many as 5. Elmhurst led it by 4 at the half. Elmhurst trailed by 5 with 1:30 to go. A 3-pointer by Kyle Wiest cut it to a 2-point advantage. Augustana scored just a minute ago before this timeout to push it back to a 62-58 advantage. Most of the Blue Jays' offensive firepower on the bench is Brian Ackerman and Nick Sanford have both fouled out. Each team is in the 1-and-1 bonus, and the possession arrow belongs to the Blue Jays. So after the timeout, it'll be Leonard, Foster, Morganoff, Jurgovich, and Wiest. Yurgudis will pressure in backcourt. 46 seconds to go in the game. Foster lost it off his leg, gets it back. Blue Jays need to hurry. They're down by 2 possessions. They need a bucket quickly. Here's Wiest, drives in the lane, shot up, no good, but he draws a foul and he'll go to the line to shoot it twice. So the Blue Jays work deep into the shot clock but end up drawing the foul, and Kyle Wiest will go to the line. Blue Jays 6 of 10 at the free throw line. And the Augustana foul is on their big man, Brandon Kuntz. That is his 5th. He is the first Viking to foul out. So that's why the stoppage in play and the huddles on both benches, while Augustana uses its allotted time to find a substitute from the foul out. And it's going to be George Dexter, who scored 2 points off the bench in the first half. This is his first second half action. Big free throws coming up here for Kyle Wiest, who is a 66% free throw shooter. Big free throw for Wiest. He now has 7, all of them after halftime. Shot clock will be off for Augustana on their next possession. And the lead is back down to 2. Elmhurst will press in the full court. Wiest trying to deny the ball. Vikings get it in. Foster tried to foul and missed it. And now the Vikings can work some clock. Here's Yurgudis. They try to foul again and no call. Finally, Jurgovich slaps Johnson. That stops the clock with 23 seconds. And Johnson will go to the line. He will shoot it twice. That's the 10th team foul on the Blue Jays. Jurgovic is third. Johnson now with 11, all of them coming here in the second half. He's now 5 for 7 from the free throw line, and the lead is back to 4. And Augustana will take another timeout to set up their defense. So Blue Jays really now have their backs to the wall. Just 23 seconds to play, and they trail by 4. They'll have to get it in and get to the bucket quickly, and then try to foul and stop the clock. As we mentioned earlier, it has been a fantastic season for the Elmhurst College Grapplers, ranked number 2 in the country in Division III wrestling. They will participate in the CCIW Conference Wrestling Tournament at Wheaton next Thursday. Then on March 2nd, they will host the Midwest Regional of the NCAA Tournament. And if you are a wrestling fan at all, I encourage you to get out here and see some of that. Could be as many as 7 of the nation's top-ranked teams here in that regional, as Steve Marianetti's crew looks to play or wrestle for a national championship. After the timeout, Elmhurst has got to get it going faster than this with 23 seconds left. Stutter step by Foster. Ball rolls off. Loose ball collected by Payonk, and he is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot it twice. That's the 10th team foul. Boy, Elmhurst took a little longer than they wanted getting into that offensive set and burned 14 seconds off the game clock. Payonk will be at the line to shoot it twice. And the freshman out of Oak Forest, Illinois, has his 3rd point. Jurgovic will check back in for Elmhurst. Payonk trying to make it a 2-point game. He does not. Rebound to Augustana. Elmhurst will foul. Jurgutis will go to the line to shoot the double bonus. He's a good free throw shooter at 81% on the season. Foul was on Weiss. That's just his 2nd. And now the Blue Jays will take a timeout. 8.5 seconds to go in the game. It is a 3-point advantage. Just 1 of 2 free throws here for Augustana should do the trick for the Vikings. Hope to see you here at Faginal Hall next Wednesday night for the final home basketball game of the season. Women played their final home game today. They'll be at Wheaton next Wednesday while the men host the Thunder. It'll be senior night, as the Blue Jays will honor Deontay Foster, Alex Morganoff. This is a young basketball team, future bright for Mark Scherer's ball club. And when you look at the scoring they have coming back, Nick Sanford just a junior, Brian Ackerman is a freshman, Taylor Baxter is a junior, Kyle Weiss a freshman. Some very good talent, especially offensive talent, coming back for this Blue Jays team next season. Augustana already back out on the floor. Jurgutis will shoot the free throws. Straughter, Johnson, Dexter, and Ryan join him in the Viking lineup. And the Blue Jays will come with Morganoff, Foster, Payonk, Weiss, and Leonard. Keep in mind, Nick Sanford and Brian Ackerman both on the bench with 5 fouls. Couple of misses, the Jays still have a chance. A make, and it's probably over. And the free throw rolls out. Still hope for the Blue Jays, trailing by 1 possession with 8.5 seconds to go in the game. Block out critical here. Augustana's been good on the offensive boards, doesn't matter. Jurgutis hits the free throw. Here come the Jays. They got to get a shot up faster than this. Weiss leans in, tried to draw the foul, didn't get it. Shot no good, rebound out with under 2 seconds to go, and that'll do it. foul will send Augustana to the line for a couple of mop-up points. But a very, very good effort wasted today by this Elmhurst team. They had a 4-point lead at the half. They led by as many as 5. Had a very sloppy stretch starting about the 7-minute mark of the second half. A string of missed field goals, a string of turnovers. And Augustana took a 5-point lead, and they have held on to it as Johnson misses the free throw. And the lead stays at 4. So the Blue Jays will drop to 6-18, 2-11 in conference play. The Vikings will move to 17-7, 7-6 in conference play, and all but assure themselves of that 4th and final spot in the conference tournament. This free throw will probably seal the final margin at 5. Inbound, we still launch it from three-quarter court. It's no good. And a tough loss for this Elmhurst Blue Jay basketball team. They lost by 43 a month ago to this Viking team. Played valiantly all afternoon, but foul troubles and a poor stretch of missed field goals and turnovers doom them this afternoon, and they lose it by a final score of 66-61. So the Vikings have now won 7 out of the last 8 against the Blue Jays, and as we said, more than likely have sewn up that 4th spot in the conference tournament. So the Blue Jays split the basketball doubleheader. The women win the opener. The men lose the nightcap. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in a minute to look at the final scoring and statistics. Blue Jays lose it. Glad you were with us this afternoon. We'll be back in a second on BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jays play well, but fall short, 66-61 at Fagnall Hall in a CCIW matchup against the Augustana Vikings. Let's take a quick look at the scoring and statistics. First of all, for the Blue Jays, who have shot poorly all year long, they shot it very well today. A blistering 54% in the first half. Cooled off a bit in the second. They finish at 47% on 23 of 49 from the field. They were just 9 of 14, though, from the free throw line for 64%. They had 6 blocked shots. They were out-rebounded by the Vikings by 2, 35-33. Turnovers a big factor in the game. The Elmhurst Blue Jays turned it over 17 times. The Vikings gave it away just 8. Vikings did not shoot particularly well. They are a 47% shooting team on the season. Shot at just 36% for the game, only 24% in the first half. They made a living at the free throw line, though, especially late in the game. They were 22 of 30 for 73%. So in what ended up being a 5-point loss, the Blue Jays were outscored by 13 points at the free throw line. Of course, some of those were late as the Jays were fouling to stop the clock. And the Blue Jays did have late foul trouble as Bryant Ackerman and Nick Sanford fouled out with about 2 minutes to go in the game. As we mentioned, Augustana out-rebounded the Blue Jays by 2, and they won the turnover battle, turning it over just 8 times, an impressive number for the full game. For the Blue Jays individually, they were led in scoring by Nick Sanford. He had 11 points, but 9 of those came in the first half. Kyle Weiss tied him for team high scoring honors with 11. Brian Ackerman had 10 points before fouling out. Deontay Foster had 9 points on 3 3-point field goals. Alex Morganoff had 8. That ties his season high. Kenny Payonk had 4 off the bench. Eric Leonard had 2 off the bench. Eric Dornfeld had 6 off the bench, and Michael Jurgovich started, but did not score. For the Augustana Vikings, they were led in scoring by their terrific freshman forward, Ben Ryan. He had a game-high 21. Dan Yergudis had 14 points. Tavian Johnson had 13. All of those came in the second half. Brandon Coons had 8 before fouling out. He also had a game-high 10 rebounds. Nick Hefner had 6 points off the bench. Griffin Pills and Dexter George with a pair of points off the bench. Hunter Hill, Mark Roth, and Jawan Straughter all played but did not score. So the Blue Jays fall to 6-18 overall, 2-11 in conference play. They fall to 5-9 at home. Vikings go to 17-7 overall, 7-6 in conference play. They are now 9-4 on the road. That's going to do it for us here today. Glad you could be with us for our BlueJayTV.com basketball doubleheader. The women won their game earlier, 55-44. So for our entire BlueJayTV.com crew, Glenn running things down at the board down below the bleachers, Phil up top on the camera. This is Joe Emick. Thank you for joining us and saying so long, everybody.